Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be doing the practical on usage of SCP plugin to make a land use land cover output for any given region on the earth. For this, we'll be taking the input from Landsat 8. For that, you need to go to Google and type Earth Explorer, and the first output that you get, just click on it. It will open the official site from where you can download the images of Landsat 8. So first thing that we have to do is we need to find out the region for which we want to find out. Just you can use this minimize button and you can go to the region which you want to actually find out or do the analysis for land use land cover. So what we will do is just click on the portion which you want to consider or get the data from, and this will simply add the locations for which you want to get the data. Then go to data sets, go to your Landsat. In this, go to land cover. In land collection 1, go to Landsat 8. After this, go to advanced criteria. This is just a selection for getting a more clearer images. So that is, say, less than 90% cloud cover, and scene also we will make it less than 90%. So we just make these two setting and go to the results. We need to wait for some time to get the results because the site takes a little time to get the results. See the footprint as where these location of this tile will be lying. So whichever tile you want to download, you can simply go and download it. So I find that this particular tile, the third one, is more this one. I'll just go to download, and it will simply take some time to actually give you the window where you can download, and it takes actually few hours to download that particular data. So I've already downloaded this data and kept. Now after you have downloaded your data, just go to the QGIS window. The data is downloaded. Now we will open this in QGIS. Go to the layers, add layer, add raster, and in raster we will select from that zip folder. We'll unzip and keep it. I have unzipped and kept it on my desktop with the name unzip, and I'll just select my folder and select the bands 1 to 7 only, and open and add it. Okay, once it is added, what I'll do is go to SCP plugin, band set. In this, I'll just refresh this button so it will load all my layers B1 to B7. Then just click select all 7 bands and add it to band set. So once it gets added up, you can go to pre-processing, and in pre-processing you see clip multiple rasters. Here you can go and just click on plus button. It will give you a window where you can actually select the portion on it. So it is gets selected by selecting the diagonals, right click and left click. So this gets selected. Now we will go back to our file and then run it. It will ask us to select a folder. I have created a folder with the name clip. I'll select the folder and wait for some time for it to run and load it. Okay, so you can see in your layers panel, the clip layers are there along with the previous layer. You can simply remove these layers. So what do you get is only this clipped output. You can just zoom in. Okay. Now, what we will do is again go to SCP plugin. Go to band set. Just remove this by resetting it and again reset this. So now it will load all your clipped raster files here, and you can again load it in your band set 1. You can click shift and then first and last, it will select all. They all get added up in this. Now go to we now want to have the reflectance, because for land use, land cover, whether it is water, land, vegetation, we will require the reflectance. So we'll again go to the pre-processing, select Landsat and go to the folder of zip and select our clipped folder. And next again go to our unzip folder and select this file with MTL. Okay. Apply DOS 1 atmospheric correction. It will create all radiance reflectance. When you run, it will ask you to create a folder. We will create a folder with the name reflectance and select this folder. So it will take some time and load your files with the reflectance values. So once this is complete, again what we will do is we will remove these clip files and just keep the reflectance. There is one more clip file. Now, very important thing to remember is once you have the reflectance, we can use these RGB bands, because we have selected 7 bands and each band will give you basically give a reflectance where we can either identify the vegetation, whether it is a building or water. So let me check with 432. Yeah, this virtual band set is created. We can adjust, untick all others so that we can actually see what is there in our virtual band. And color gives a particular feature which becomes more visible. So if I write say 6, you can see the different colors of different feature is more prominent. Or I can write say 543. So this green patch is visible, water is visible. So what we will do is now we will again use SCP to actually convert this region into say vegetation, land cover or a water resource. We can even have a combination of so depending upon the different reflectance that the bands we select, we get a different things to see. You can remember these bands for which particular basically you want to see a feature will be highlighted more. So say vegetation it is 562 or agriculture 652 or land cover it is 564. So we can simply use these band selections and find out that particular feature. So now what we will do is again we will go to the view panel, go to panels and take this SCP doc in case it is not visible on your screen. In case it's there, it may be already there. Now what we have to do is we need to create a training input to make it understand that what is water or what is land and what is the vegetation. Okay, so I'll just create a training input folder, say in unzip only with the name training inputs. I'll just name an SCP file with training inputs. Since I already have, it is asking me and it gets loaded in the layers. Now what we have to do is in this, you have the micro IDs and the class. Okay, so if I say I want to have the micro class as water and say river as are visible in my plot, I'll just zoom in and this is my rivers. So I can just click on this ROI and select that particular portion which I want to name it as a rivers, and then right click, it will close. Now you can go to some other input training inputs. If you are giving more than one, you need to press on the control key so that it is allowing you to with the left mouse it will allow you to actually have the points being taken and right to close it. So I'll just take some more. Minimum 3 points are required to define a region, and then I will say signature. So it will upload my signatures. Okay, so river class 1. Now if I want underwater only, I want ponds. Yeah, there is a pond here. I'll just zoom in and again take ROI polygon. Okay, and just signature. It gets uploaded. We can actually change the colors. Say blue for this. Okay, I can use a light blue for this. Okay, now I'll just use another band 564 and see there is lot of vegetation here which I would like to cover. So I'll just change my micro class to 2 and say vegetation. So it's a forest. Okay. So what I'll do is again ROI is already activated. I can take multiple training sets. Okay, and just load these signatures and make it say color, change the color and make it green. Okay, now once these are loaded, I can actually load more depending upon the classification that I may have. And then I can even see the reflectance, the signature, the spectral signatures of each, whether what is water, what is forest, and other forest. So this is when I click on this, it is the reflectance that we can see, and it shows that whatever you see in red, maybe they have a similar between every band. It shows you what is the difference, what is the spectral angle. And one more thing that we can see through this is, so now we will make our reflectance plot. So we will just select all these row micro classes and then click on this reflectance, and it will give us the values, and then we can click on plot, so we can clearly see the vegetation in blue. Then this is reflectance values for ponds, rivers, so that is quite visible. We can just see one also at a time, and this is how we see the reflectance or the spectral plot. In addition to this, now what we can do is we can just make our plot for this class that is selected, and just click on this button, activation class pointer. So as we point at any location, it converts that position in as per our classes defined, that is the green and the brown that we see. Similarly, any position we can click and find out. So here we had actually pointed out the so this is how we are able to convert our raster into a classification as per the ones which we have selected. We can further go to raster and go to conversion and polygonize, that is convert this raster to vector. So it will just select this classification file that we have created. We can, if we see the, we will just go to raster, go to conversion, polygonize, select this file and run. So you get a vectorized, you can just unclick on other files, and what you will get will be a raster output. See, but for that particular band which you have selected, it has been converted into a vector. That is, we are able to convert our raster into a vector. Thank you all.